the backup. This is literally the play that gets them into the smash zone. Solke gonna be sending it forward. He's gonna be joined up then by Hapsidjic, an absolutely superhero style in the building, and they get 1, get 2, get 3, and the final player, and because of that they get the 4-man reset and actually get enough points to enter the smash zone. What a hero save play of the day. They don't do that, they would still not be over that 122 point threshold.
It's insane. I think I missed that play. Thank you for that replay, because oh my goodness me.
Hey, so HamCG is just like crashing the wall. We are not going out.
They just send it. Absolutely send it. And that's what we want to see out of some teams. Being able to send it. EARENA, one team that's currently also running into that struggle when we talk about teams struggling that are already in the smash zone lays for EARENA.
That was TIANBA's fault. I don't know. Like, I have to bring it to TIANBA because obviously EARENA, you know, they had a nice little path in there, but TIANBA were actually positioned in such a great spot that they were so annoying to every team. This is AURORA. This was obviously even helping S2G in that fight. They were able to sort of gatekeep that area from EARENA as well. And so it's unfortunate that we're seeing like EARENA not being able to push into the position early enough because they are still sort of playing that edge.
They are going to be playing that edge, but right now they need to get that win if they want to be able to win via Smash Rule. They are one of those teams currently in the Smash Zone. Keep in mind, EARENA started off the day with 112 points. They have only gotten 11 points so far after 3 matches.
And 10 out of those 22. That's where they were. In the last 2 games, they've gotten 1 point. EARENA, you're looking so strong.
Yeah, transitioning to some of the other teams, right? I'm going to be looking at 4thrives eSports. This is a team, Max, that we thought was going to start and continue on that momentum. Remember, this is a team that usually is able to carry on momentum. They're still hesitant. They're still showing those things that we've been critiquing this whole Pmwc at EWC 26, which is hesitance at times.
I was hoping they were not going to doubt themselves because they're not in the smash zone, unlike what we saw in PMGO Season 1, where they were actually very stressed and Ulf almost were able to close a 50-point gap over the course of those 6 matches. But no 4thrives, a bit shaken here. And actually, Niptera, one play that you highlighted is that 3-1 split, right? You had Huzaifa on his own, 3 players in the city. That was a bit of a head scratcher, right?
Yeah.
He was by himself.
Huzaifa was by himself. I could see maybe what they're trying to do is hedge their bets, but he was in such a difficult position, and it's a shame that he actually, when they actually wrapped around outside of the town as well to go back, Huzaifa ended up being taken out early, so that's a shame.
As I'm looking at the teams here, all the way up to 11th place, 92 points. These teams are getting closer and closer. They're kind of giving in a bit of an advantage there, since some of the teams towards the top are choking a little bit, are not being able to get that many points. For those teams on the second page, what that's going to be costing Neptera and Lays and Maxman, it's just going to be costing for all those teams to just get closer and closer. There's a lot of money at stake right now when we end up talking about some of these squads. Let's see what we have, some of the comments on social media as well. 1 chicken for 40, and then you see what's domination is. Yeah, but right now we're not seeing the domination. We want to see that domination from 4thrives, right? Yeah. Let's see if they'll be able to deliver for their fans here at the arena. But for some of the other teams, right, we're now talking about, let's go back to Hora, because Hora is stopping a lot of those teams towards the top from getting those points. The teams towards the top need to be able to find some kind of adjustment to that aggressiveness that we're seeing out of Hora.
Yeah, them, TIANBA also, Hora in particular, they have nothing to lose, right? They're like, okay, we have to go hard or go home today. We have to initiate that comeback and leave the second page, which with the last 2 games on Erangel, they've been doing. We have 1 more Erangel coming up, right? So maybe we can finally see a Hora chicken dinner. That will be very exciting here in the finals of PMWC. But TIANBA, I feel like they're a team that in this lobby, if they get a national player this or EARENA or NONGSHIM REDFORCE, and maybe now also and I love it. They really are one of
the western side, obviously where Hora was, which would have capitalized their elimination, so they're kind of not being as present as they usually are.
It could be ending here in this next match. My prediction was in 4 matches. How many matches do you have, Neptera?
4.
Max? 4. Lace?
I was hoping for 2, so mine's it.
Okay, yours is absolutely cooked. But let's see if it's going to be ending here in match number 4, or if we're just going to be getting a bunch more teams joining in this smash zone.
Will this be it? We are about to find out. S2G joins the fray. Now 3 different squads could smash.
3 teams with that opportunity in our final edition of Erangel at the PMWC. It is going to go a little bit further than maybe some were expecting, given how today started, getting 2 teams into that smash zone so early on. But that double Milter shift on both of our zones has kind of thrown a spanner in the works. I mean, for NONGSHIM, right? They're dropping around that area. They're getting pushed in around the bridge. It seemed like they didn't quite have the force to be able to push their way out, right? They're still earning a lot of points on these games, though. So if it does go the full distance, they may just be able to win it out like that.
That's what you got to do at the end of the day. Is you got to try to win this whole thing in as many different ways as possible. And that is going to be, you're going to smash, or you're going to end up with the most points on the leaderboards at the end of the day. And NONGSHIM REDFORCE with that double Milta circle, like you mentioned, is just putting in the work. Problem is, though, is that if we get another one, I mean, everyone's going to know by now exactly where they're at. So the focus is going to, I think, shift a little bit. But this could be the game where we get another crazy Erangel circle to finish out the PMWC here at EWC live in Paris. You can see these players cracking their knuckles, getting ready to drop in one last time.
On Erangel, that will be the final bill. 3 teams, as you say before. Out of those 3, I feel like for my money, given today's games, I'm favoring either S2G or NONGSHIM REDFORCE. I feel like for me, EARENA today has been solid, consistent, but not a game-winning team. And I need to see a little bit more from them to be confident in their ability to fully confirm on that smash. But we've seen them do some crazy stuff, right? They have broken records on their road here, and now they're in with a chance to take that title, give Schweppes his 3rd performance at a global level to get a global stage title with those 2 PMWI trophies already behind him, looking for a 3rd time to take it home.
Well, here comes the big one. We're here in Paris, folks. Let's make some noise as this is the last Erangel of the tournament. Could this be the final match? That's the question we're about to find out as we're looking now at the plane. These players are locked, loaded, ready to go. And we got one going right down the middle here in a nice diagonal coming from George all the way down to Novo.
Yeah, going to give a lot of access to everywhere on the map here. Shouldn't be too many hot drops. I know we've seen a couple of those certainly earlier on. I mean, in our first Erangel, we had that hot drop over near the Gatka Fields that was a little bit questionable. Godlike not super happy about that, but there have been performances across the board here. Sorry, Ida. I think it was Ida and TIANBA actually who were on that hot drop earlier on, but still, yeah, a really tricky situation shouldn't be unfolding here this time around. Nobody dropping straight to North George, maybe just grabbing some vehicles and heading there later. Orangutan sending WizGod very far up north, isolated from the rest of the roster. Potentially, again, just grabbing a vehicle, going to break out and rejoin in a moment. As we take a look at our top players, though, it's a 3-way tie with Ulf, NONGSHIM REDFORCE, and Hora all having their representatives on our highest elimination counts.
Oh!
And it's a milli-circle.
Let's go. I saw some people pop up in the stands after seeing that zone shift. Here we are in military. All right. AURORA are going to be down there. NONGSHIM REDFORCE are going to be close to this circle as well. Man, oh man, Erangel doesn't disappoint here. As, yeah, we had to just touch military just one more time, huh?
Hey, we got to do it. We got to do it to them. AURORA already dropping there, obviously, could potentially have some fast rotates there. What we've seen as well from NONGSHIM REDFORCE is a lot of times where they've been able to transition very effectively over towards the military island. They've had 2 chicken dinners on 3 of their military island finishes, which is going to hopefully be something that they can repeat. That's what they're looking for here. So a big opportunity for NONGSHIM, who tends to go for the the rotate of one player off of the shark fin, rotate down south fairly early on circles like this, try and get a foothold on the north side of the island and work from there. That's what they're going to be looking for. But if we've seen it, the other teams have seen it too.
Yep.
So is anyone going to try and counter that?
Yeah, you know that these teams are prepared to their gills here. They know exactly what these teams are going to do.
How are they going to execute it? That's going to be the question. Speaking of execution, if we look at the leaderboards right now, there are some teams that could still definitely win this whole tournament further down. I'm looking even all...
Hora, FURIA, right?
It's getting to the point to where if they're going to win this thing, it's going to be via smash, right? And if they're going to smash, they have this game, and they have one more game to get within that threshold, okay? So if you look at Flash with 92 points, that's still quite a few away to get to that 122, but they have to do it in these next two games because you have to hit that threshold and then win the next game.
Absolutely. I mean, from 12th down, I feel like it is pretty much done and dusted for the title, unfortunately. 74 points, putting you really, really far behind of that smash threshold. Unless everybody else in the entire lobby stops earning points, you just keep going on a points victory, maybe. But still, I'm not too sure about that one. So for 12th down,
48. Yeah, it's 48.
I'm having a bad time thinking about their prospects moving on forwards, which is unfortunate. But there are opportunities for the rest of the lobby to keep that ball rolling. As you say, Flash really very much on an outside chance. I feel like anyone below 7th place is in that same boat, right? Having a really, really tough time, and even in 7th, 6th, and 5th to boot, it's going to be really rough. It will necessitate a chicken dinner in this match. Yep. To go across. This is that NONGSHIM REDFORCE rotate. Here they go. To tune in with our teams in the smash zone. NONGSHIM REDFORCE now across to the military island. S2G went very, very quickly, which makes me question how much they're going to have on board to try and hold this. NONGSHIM took a little bit longer to get across, which is going to give them some more power, some more backstop of utility of supplies, and AURORA, of course, dropping over in that military base. They're not in the smash zone just yet, but they are the team that is closest to it. Only 7 points behind right now. EARENA, they're still in South George. It's very likely that they're going to take a long time to go for this rotate.
Yeah, super unlucky on the side of EARENA. They've had... I think that's why we see them not have as much success as normal. But this is a perfect zone. They know the side of the map like the back of their... Cheeky at the start here of the finals.
I mean, it felt like, either were across the bridge a lot earlier than this. They just did not have a setup.
No.
So, I think the Galaxy getting across pretty much for free on that location is a great result for the squad. They are, of course, 22 points behind that smash bubble. They shall need to try and push past in the next, as you say, 2 matches.
Yep.
To break on in there. And now Ulf could potentially try and roll across the bridge, but they are going to roll into a much harder stopping block, I imagine, given that Ida have now kind of solidified out to the west side of that exit. I think the Galaxy hold the compound to the east side of the bridge.
Interested to see the kind of plays we're going to see from these teams, especially in that lower part of the leaderboards, because, they want to still win this. It's still possible, but what kind of different play styles are we going to see? Like, even GODLIKE with 74 points, to make it possible, they need a 25-point game here and in the next one. So they'd have to go and just eliminate everybody, right? So I would want to see aggression no matter what from them. Team Flash with 92 points, right? They're going to be hunting down that 122. That's 30 points in the next 2 games. So 15 and 15, much more manageable, right? At the same time, that's a chicken dinner with 5 eliminations, so it's not going to come easy.
Hey, we're just going to see. Sure. We're just going to have to see what happens in this game, because right now 4 Thrives with their opportunity crashing into S2G with theirs as well. 1 step closer to the smash zone. 4 Thrives denied there. S2G put their first point on the board after gaining that smash point in that last game and holding this south edge. They're feeling all right. They're feeling all right. We're still waiting for Zone 2 to really decide where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I have this sort of bubbling feeling in my stomach juice. And it is, what if we get a really hard north shift and we go back to the mainland? It's so unlikely, and it's not even really worth bringing up. But I just have that little feeling. I'm like, oh, back of my neck is prickling. My spidey senses.
The John Allen tingle.
कहिले छक्चिक्ली
It's in effect here, folks. If we see that northern shift, oh boy, will this be one heck of a party here. Fortunate for Fort Thrive, they're on that most southern part of military, just thinking they can kind of get some of that loot. S2G finding one of their players isolated, and that's IQ gone, just like that. Only player out of the lobby so far. Looking on over, there's still a lot of teams that are in the blue zone still. I mean, we got EARENA still in South George, so they're going to be pushing in super late. TIANBA's up there, Godlike's up there, Hora are still just crossing. Yes, Naya. So a lot of teams going to be very, very late on this rotate.
Little family outing for Vitality. Hop into the hovercraft, luggage in the boot. Getting that fuel back on board. Minimal vehicles though. Makes this south side for them a lot more difficult to navigate. I'm not too happy with the amount of mobility that they're going to have. They do need to potentially try and find some vehicles or steal us up from another team, as our circle will be coming in fairly soon. Yeah, for Vitality, might be a foot-based approach for the future if that hovercraft draws the fire like we see it. The circle shifts out west. Does keep a lot of that military island in. It's going to push ALULA away from Novo, and the teams on the east bridge potentially going to have a little bit of a hurry up, but ALULA have that outpost over to the west. The east bridge, it's going to be a fairly easy disagreement to settle, I imagine, for Flash and Orangutan. Not for either of the two teams, but it should be a fairly simple solution for whichever team comes out on top. At the moment, looks like Orangutan might have the better end of the stick because the res does need to come through.
Res needs to happen. Unfortunate for ALULA, they can't catch a break. You know they wanted that observatory position so bad. But they're at the bottom of the leaderboard. It's going to have to do it the hard way. Still on the north side of this island, we got OG. Have a possibility to make a run of it. They need 15 points in this one and the next one. We could end this game here and now, folks. But you know what? Before it ends, you guys gotta get in the game and get one of those Naruto Uzumaki skins right there. We got the Nine Tails Furies AUG still available. Get it while you still can. Aurora, though, at Fort Thrive. This is a huge fight. They are battling it out over by these plain fields. Zol's gonna have the angle there on T24. Throws the Molotov on him. He's gonna have to move. The nade goes out to Zol. Picks him up a little bit. And now it's a battle of the util. He touched the molly. He touched it with the tiptoe and gets knocked. Another huge mistake here out of Fort Thrives.
Hey, Fort Thrives had so much momentum, but the pendulum swings back the other way. And Aurora now are another step closer. They put a second elimination point on the board. They are drawing inexorably towards that 122 metric. Now 5 points for them left to try and claim to join for a potential smash in Miramar if we get that far, because remember, 3 teams can still win it. And we've seen 2 chicken dinners on milli circles coming from NONGSHIM, who have a 2-2 split on the north side of the island right now. FURIA may look to try and challenge the northern point of this. And our NONGSHIM going to look to regroup over towards the northwest side of Millie. They will have to, at some point, decide which outpost they want to commit to. It may need another circle for them to do so.
Yeah, they're in a really great spot right now. The problem is that everyone's going to want it. And they are completely surrounded by squads. And I guarantee you, the second a team realizes NONGSHIM where they're at, they're going to full commit to them for sure to try and stop them. EARENA, meanwhile, going to be coming in through the zone on the north side. Where's the shift going to go? If it goes to the bridge, oh, this is going to be straight chaotic.
It's going to go a little bit close to the bridge. Now NONGSHIM need to regroup. For my money, I think that southwest side might just be a little bit better for them. They're right next to Ida there. FURIA going to charge on in over the hills. EARENA have yet to get across the zone as well to get towards that military island crossing. Godlike are going to contest them on it. This could be the make or break moment for EARENA. If they can get across, they've got the backline of that coast to keep them a little bit safer, but they have to get there first. A challenge off Ulf, maybe NIGMA Galaxy will join in that fray, but they have to get across.
Yeah, they're going to have to get across, and it's going to be a tough one right now. I mean, there is so many different teams crowding these bridges, and on both sides, on the eastern and western bridge. You can see NONGSHIM though, they got those sandbags. They're going to be holding this hill. This is a great spot in this circle. They're going to have so many different sight lines. They can rotate away from it if necessary. They just got to watch out for the crash. These guys are set up for this one here. I'm not kidding. They are the biggest threat in this lobby right now.
It's crazy. NONGSHIM in a command point in this circle with the chance to smash this away. Put another military victory under their belt as well would be incredible. What a way to close it down. But they have got a long way to go. We're only 12.5 minutes into this game. There's going to be at least 15 more of them ticking away every second. Drop of sweat beading on the foreheads of one of our players.
There's GODLIKE keeping an eye on EARENA. Oh, looks like we did get a huge knock. That's XZY.
Okay, that's
okay. Yeah, that is resible, so you should be able to get safe. Yeah, okay, so NONGSHIM gonna keep their player up here.
Okay.
Remember, they don't know who it is until it's flushed, so they still don't have a clue it's NONGSHIM just yet.
We'll be able to get that healing done. Unlikely that there's any full crashes onto this NONGSHIM position, given the direction of crash would need to come from the north side at the moment, and FURIA, ALULA, generally not going to have the greatest of times getting across whilst each other are still there, not to mention NIGMA Galaxy pushing in from that north side as well. So I feel like for the next circle two, maybe, NONGSHIM REDFORCE is going to be very, very safe and secure in this position in a central spot. I'm also looking at S2G on the southwest side. No one really contesting them. Of course, you do still have Fulak from 4 tries, the last player to stay alive, who could potentially find a backstop position, find an off angle, a cheeky little snake in the grass play. But for S2G on the southwest side, I think they have a good run up as well once everybody else crunches in.
Yeah, there's so many teams here. I mean, S2G, NONGSHIM REDFORCE, they're going to have some big dominant positions. They could win this game and end the tournament here and now. The question is how are they going to handle these fights? Do they take some of the fights early on like they normally would? Maybe not, because it's going to give away their position, and a lot of attention is going to be laser focused on them. A southern shift happens. S2G have the high ground.
Now, this is really important. Sure, S2G have that high ground. That's really good for them, but NONGSHIM's decisions in the next minute or two are going to be pretty make or break. The teams on the northeast side will have to figure out who's going to take a crack at it. I feel like NONGSHIM can kind of stay here for a little bit longer. Yeah, they have to be able to hold out as the crossing on the bridge starts to unfold. We've got 4 teams behind the queue, and actually EARENA is sweeping in to try and play in behind this. They think, oh, surely the eastern bridge is going to be empty. Think again.
No, there are a whole bunch of teams holding on this eastern bridge. Looks like a bunch of squads, and IGL's had the same idea. And this is stage 4. The blue zone is really going to start chunking them here. They cannot afford to be holding here for so long. And for Team Flash, this is their chance to disrupt EARENA.
A real big chance. EARENA have stumbled at every block since that first match that saw them into the smash zone. And they are being denied access. So many players sit in front of them. You've even got Eagle behind in Milta for TIANBA to try and make that one happen. So a really, really desperate scenario now for EARENA, whilst the 2 teams that sit with them in the smash zone are laughing, and there goes Schweppes.
There goes Schweppes.
Unresible now,
yeah.
stage 4.
And now WizGod is going to be looking to get that thirst, soak up them points. They know it's EARENA here. Oh, the pan shot.
Okay.
Woo. He said, okay, let me go ahead and get back to this side. Moorman desperate at this point. Just going to be full sending it across this bridge to try and survive. The blue zone chunking them down. And the crowd, you can hear them chanting. I can hear the S2G chants already. They know this looks really good, but can they finish it out?
This east side including, and we didn't really catch it on camera, but FURIA went up towards NIGMA Galaxy to take that fight on the northern side. They were able to take a player down and not lose any themselves, but again, that leaves no challengers from the east towards that NONGSHIM high ground position in those sandbag spots. Everybody from the east side is going to be coming into this zone raggedy. Run through as EARENA do manage to get across the bridge, but at the cost of Schweppes.
Yeah, at the cost of Schweppes and a whole bunch of utility as well. They're going to be going through almost all their meds here just to try and survive, and then they're going to have to get lucky into this circle. They're going to have to hope to catch a third party, something. If they do get that third party, though, and win that fight, this could be dangerous. Let's see how this works out, though, as now we're going to look at Qiddiya getting mighty close to Team Flash. That name just a little bit too far from Bose.
Well, taking shots over on the northwest side, over at Godlike. Don't think he's going to manage to push through with complete ease, but it's a good start. As the blue zone at his back, pose for Team Flash. Remember, they were the team that was holding out that east bridge. They alleviated that pressure, and now they might try and turn their attention to our tabletoppers, NONGSHIM REDFORCE, in their bunker spot. It is really dicey for everybody on the east side. They have to push past such a difficult, impregnable position.
Hey, they found a spot though, right? EARENA was able to find a little bit of space here and possibly some eliminations as WizGod is trying to drive by. He thought this was open. No, it's not. WizGod almost on fire, somehow still alive, and now getting taken out by ALULA.
All right, okay. Well, that was a crazy dash out of the open through the melee position. A team that we haven't talked about in a while is AURORA, who sit as a blocker to ALULA. And remember, they are a team chasing towards that smash zone. And they find a spot on towards Mormon as well and knock over to EARENA. And they are now down another player. Vitality pick up that flush. So AURORA denied the point, which could be pretty crucial if they do not make it into the smash zone here. But with AURORA in the buildings on the south side of this zone, as it pushes, by the way, away from NONGSHIM, yeah, that could be devastating for AURORA if they don't make it all the way.
AURORA looking dangerous, so they're actually going to be fighting out with EARENA. That's a big one, a big fight about to take off as they're waiting for this next circle. This is still stage 5, but military zones are just so dangerous. AURORA are going to have this beautiful compound for now, so they don't have to move. Right now, they're just keeping eyes on ALULA, trying to get a few more eliminations. They know they're that close. Only 5 points away now from that smash zone.
Team Flash, as soon as they roll out, they're...
ग्यालेक्सी आएछ ल सकाइदिएन त मुजी हेर्ने साथी मैले भनेको नि एसपीजी हो क्या मुजी दावेदार त्यो मुजीहरु हो क्या त्यो को छ अरे एसपीजी को त्यो एमसी सोल्के हैन हैन त्यो सोल्के आइजेल थियो आइजेल सोल्के त्यो मुजीले अति खेलाउँछ यार गेम अरोराले चिकन हानस् का साथी इधर पनि पुगोस् एक गेम त लोन मिल्छ यो पनि कस्तो एफएलले कस्तो बिदी गर्दै गयो एफएलले गेम बिगार्यो साथी नत्र हैन एफएल त्यहाँ नभको नि हाम्रो इजी थियो क्या एसपीसी त हेर त कस्तो एजमा छ यार मजा गडेलको जम्मा 2 जना हो गडेललाई सेकिहाल्छ अब कि त फलकले मुजी यहाँ 1-2 जना खाइदिनु पर्छ एसपीसीको म्याच चढेर कहाँ हिँडेको सोल्टी ल ए घोडा गर्ने अहिले त्यो मिलेर ए घोडा ओइ मुजी ओइ मरे पनि को चाहिँ मर्छ र यार सबजना ओइ एसपीजीले हान्ने बा साथी एसपीजीले हान्छ हेर त हान्ने बा मुजी एसपीजीले गडा हो कहाँ छ यो यो पोर बीटीआर हेर्नुस् यार साथी बीटीआर पनि 4 जना रहेछ नि त सकाए जस्तो सकेडा होइन पिटिआरले हान्छ दादी यिनीहरू अलिक डराएर खेलिरहेको छ नि त एसपिजी त त्यो मुझे पिटिआरलाई त मुझे जानु केही छैन आउनु केही छैन 14 मा त सेफ छु भनेर खेलिहाल्छ नि
मलाई किन अरोरा र एसपिजी मेडलले खान्छ जस्तो लागिरहेछ क्या साथी अरोरा त छैन नि त हैन अब यसपछि त हुन्छ हैन त
म त पिटिआरले नै हान्छ जस्तो लाग्छ
यसपछि त मिरामार हैन आज त तीनटा इरेङ्गलमा कति पोइन्ट आयो 13 राम्रो आयो नि 34 ल्यायो हिजो यसरी ल्याएको 34 ल्याएको त हिजो रेसमा हुन्थ्यो नि केटाहरू यार आज धनाधन खेल्थ्यो धनाधन हुन्थ्यो नि हिजो हामीले यो गेममा हल्का ल्याएको भए अर्को गेम सिकेर हानेको लास्ट गेम स्म्याचमा जानुहुन्थ्यो अब त स्म्याचमा जाने पोइन्टै भएन नि 28 हान्नुपर्छ अनि 18 किल चिकेन हान्नुपर्छ मिरामारमा
साथी मिरामार त नि हाम्रो केटाहरूले लभली खेल्छ त
हान्नुपर्ने हो केटाहरूले त्यही सोच्दै खेल्छ होला अब 18 किल चिकेनको लागि अब यो गेम बाँच्यो भने एसटुजीले जितिसक्यो अरे हो 11 भइयो भनेपछि हामी पहिला त भनेको च्याटमा त्यसले अरोरालाई हान्छ जस्तो छ उल्टे
एसपिजी मुजीहरू
लकी रहेछ यार एसटुजी किल पाएन 27 बनाथ्यो अब लिड हानिहाल्यो
अवस्था बुझ्नु खतरा लाग्यो
अरोरा पनि उता पो जाँदैछ
निकाल्नु पर्ने हुन्छ नि पुनःबाट
कफी काली फेरि बुझ्न साले अलि दिन बसी ठन्डा ये खाली
यार जल्दी हो गया यार
स्टॉप अरोराले बताउनु पर्छ हामीलाई अरोरा बता ए भयो अब सक्दैन बता यार ओइ मुख मोडक सक्यो यिनीहरुको डब्ल्युसी साथी यो एसटुजीको हेर्न मुखमा आइसकेको यार
यिनीहरुले के गरेको अहिले त्यो दुईजना के गरेको त्यहाँ किन भएको त्यसरी सकाइदिहाल्नु बुझी भनेर
यार लिड हान्न त यार
इभेन्ट सकाइदिहाल्नु भनेर गएको हो कि के गरेको यार तिनीहरुले चारजना त्यस्तो राम्रो ठाउँमा
त्यही त स्योर लगेको छ यार यिनीहरुले होइन अरूले के भन्दा खुसी नि हो यार हेर्नु नि अब
निकै के भएको गेम यार कुल के हैन यो बुझी म त सक्यो भने यार माथि के त यिनीहरु त टपमा डाँडामा फोनमा नै बोल्दैछ कि के हो यार त्यो त
हेडफोनमा बोल्दैछ नि भगेको नि
म त डान Let's go for 70,000 subscribers, guys! 70,000 को लागि जम्मा 3,000 जनाले सब्स्क्राइब गरौँ एभ्रीवान